So I'm gonna be oh hey y'all, it's Day. So I'm gonna be doing a reading for us today, and we're looking at the astrology. First thing that I wanted to look at was starting with Uranus, and it's in our collective first house, which is really exciting. I feel like with Uranus having recently moved into our collective first house, it's bringing attention, or you may have noticed that it has brought attention to our POV changing. I talked about this a little bit in the video previous to this one, which is part one, where the way that we do things have changed slightly, but it's for our benefit, and it really opens up new avenues for creativity for us. And I was kind of talking about how I didn't realize my phone could had this feature where I could talk to you guys this way. I thought I'm just not a technology person, and I see it a lot online, and I just didn't think that I could have this feature on my phone. So it's opening up a new avenue for me to be able to relay information to you guys. And there may be something going on or that has shifted within your workplace, within your workspace, within certain layouts and presentations that you guys may have done. You may have noticed that you're doing things a little bit differently now, and our spiritual team is encouraging us to lean into it because it's another avenue, a different point of view that's going to create space for us to expand on what we already know. With the sign of Gemini ruling the first house right now, as far as Uranus is going, it also is bringing attention to like what we do with our hands. If you're someone that has ever engaged in public speaking or taken a public speaking course, you know that it can be important to be aware of your posture, if you choose to walk around or move around versus if you don't, and what you're doing with your hands. Are you fidgeting with your hands while you're trying to give a presentation? Are you using your hands to emphasize the points that you're trying to make? What are you doing with your hands? And it brings me to this attention of our everyday lives and how we are presenting ourselves, and also how being aware of how others may be perceiving us. So it could be beneficial for us to get very technical about how we are showing up, as far as like just being aware. Like, are you slouching when you're sitting? Are you walking with your head down when you're going in and out of spaces? Are you biting your fingernails? So it may be beneficial. It definitely does serve us well to be aware of the little micro insecurities that kind of expose us. So if you know that you're someone that, does certain things with their hands, or are, twirling their hair too much, it might be something that you want to be conscious of. And I'm thinking of twirling your hair as, we may all be aware of like certain things. Like it could even be a giggle. Like you laugh when things are awkward. You laugh when you're actually uncomfortable. And our spiritual team is encouraging us to be like, that's not funny. Like, notice the little things, the little gestures that we do to cover for how we actually feel. And let's instead give actual words or open up tougher conversations that actually demonstrate how we actually feel. So, love that for us. Okay, so with Uranus being in Gemini in the first house, some things may be shifting, and we only need to know and learn and be open and willing to pivot. We also have Mars, which is in the second house, our collective second house in Gemini. Very interesting. So yeah, this is us leaning more into what we said we wanted. You said you wanted to be a public speaker, and here are these little micro mini opportunities. Like, people are asking you all of a sudden, what do you do again? Like, through the universe, through these people, the universe is asking us, like, oh, so do you have a business card? So if you, whatever you've been saying, be prepared to be willing to present that, to speak about that, to step into that, to be vulnerable, to more so, I'm definitely getting this energy of leaning into it. So it may be feeling a little awkward. It might feel like the shoe is like 2 sizes up. It might feel like the suit is a little too big, but you said you wanted to be the big boss. So the universe brought you a big suit. And they said, word on the street is, they said, put that shit on. They said, push that shit on. Yeah, love that for us. And with Mars accompanying Ceres, in the second house of Gemini, that Ceres is really giving us it's really helping us, assisting us. And it's kind of like, if I'm imagining like a garden, like say you're growing something specific, but then you have the vines that grow around the thing that you're, the specific thing that you're actually trying to grow. And in a way, it helps it to stand firmer. It adds structure and it protects it in a way. So I'm thinking about, there's this conversation about weeds and how, we buy pesticides to get rid of weeds, how we dedicate so much time to pulling up weeds. And it was kind of like this comparison between what is a weed and what is this other flower. Like, what's the other difference other than we don't care for it aesthetically? That's it. Also, this conversation about pigs versus dogs, cows versus dogs, and how there's so much research that shows that they have feelings, they're sentient. Pigs are actually smarter than dogs. What makes them so much more edible, and why are we so desynthesized from how they may be feeling versus dogs? And then we see other people from other countries eating dogs, and we're just like, how could you? But it's like we're no different. It's just cultural. So yeah, comparing apples to oranges. So with Ceres being so close, or Mars being so close to that, I see this kind of supportive nature. So as these opportunities are presenting themselves to us, in regards to what we said we wanted, what we have been affirming that we are, spiritual team is going to be presenting those to us in the many ways that that can look like. And something about that situation, that if we just think about it in our heads, like, oh, it's like we're thinking in our heads like somebody's going to be like, oh, present to me impromptu, 5 minutes, start now, go. We're thinking of it and feeling it that way. But something about the way that it unfolds is going to be presented to us in such a nurturing and supportive way that we can truly step into it. That's what our spiritual team is doing for us, you guys. And this is all happening in the second house, the house of values, possessions, self-worth. Quit playing. Okay. So moving on, looking at us having Mercury in our collective third house, which is typically ruled by Gemini. And Mercury is very much associated with Gemini, so love that for us. Let's see, but right now Cancer is in that house, so we're gonna be encouraged to talk about, speak about, entertain concepts, ideas, understandings that are important to us. And the Mercury is already in the third decan, so this is something that is not new, not unexpected. You may have already made great strides and developments in speaking about, standing up for, talking about things that are important to you, talking about things that are going on in your local community, addressing concepts that may be controversial on national news and things like that. But again, Mercury is now in the third decan. So it's kind of like topics that we have talked about impromptu here and there are, for some reason, we're going to be given a platform, a more like something is, yeah, it's like giving a platform. So you've talked about things here and there, but now you're going to get an opportunity to lay it all out. And again, this is not just subject to verbal communication. Communication comes in many ways, especially nonverbal, as we talked about with Uranus being in Gemini in the first house. So, yeah, you're going to get to put out that full display, lay out your full artwork that you've been working on that speaks to some aspect of what is really important to you, that you've been holding on to, that's dear to you, that you've come to understand, you understood. Is something about things that have affected you or people that you know, people that you care about. Yeah. So the universe is passing us the microphone and they're saying like, do that shit. Love that for us. So we also have Jupiter and the Sun. What's that word called? Conjunct. I think this was in conjunction. They're really hella close to each other. Let's see what they're talking about. So Jupiter is in the fourth house in Leo. They're so close. The Sun is in Leo as well in the fourth house. Ooh, I'm hearing the word ruminating. There's been some speculation that's been going on. You may have been kind of like the talk of the town. People have been kind of like, what's been going on? Like, what's been going on with them? It's kind of like you see somebody moving and they're like kind of blurry. You're not really paying attention to them, but it's just like, they doing something. I know they doing something. I don't know what they're doing. They not even talking about it. Hey, how are you? How's it going? How's the kids? Like they're trying to like make conversation without seeming too pressed. There's word on the street that's like you creating some kind of movement. That's the energy. And people are kind of like interested, but they don't really want to show that they're interested. They're curious, but they don't want to give you that. So yeah, you're just like kind of minding your business. You're shifting and stuff. You're like, They see you going back and forth. They've been watching you for a minute. See somebody on their cigarette, like on their front porch, on their lawn. They're just like, it's like they know that you doing something. You on to something, but they like that, you guys. Hilarious. I honestly don't feel like I have too much to say about that, but whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you've been working on, people is starting to notice. So I would just say, make sure you keep your nose clean. You're dotting your I's and crossing your T's, because people are just still not sure. They haven't quite put their finger on it yet. That's the thing. People haven't quite put their finger on it yet. But it's like it's this energy of, it's kind of like they don't want to be on your side. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know what it is. They just got a whiff of it. Like, you know what? Please don't piss me off. Please don't piss me off. So moving on, we have Venus being expressed through the sign of Virgo in the 5th house. Wait, I don't even know what that's about. That might be above my pay grade, for real, for real. Let's see. Venus in the 5th house, and the expression is Virgo. It seems like, you guys, we are going to be able to have a little bit of fun. We are going to be able to have a little bit of fun, but it's going to be embedded in, it's going to be like stitched in to the work. And I'm also getting kind of like, say like you have a busy month, and it's not like the month is so dense, as in you got all these things scheduled, you're booked, but you do have some prominent happenings, some prominent dates. So it's definitely giving quality over quantity. And then there is an emphasis of, like, I see somebody in the lab, like you might have this one particular assignment that takes a couple days. Like you might be MIA, you might be in the house for 2 or 3 days working on this, and then you pop out with it. Assignment done. Done. But it's like a staple. It's like something, it's pivotal. It's like, yeah, I got that done. And I did that. And I did that. It's like that. And then I'm also seeing another 2 and 3 days. It's like back-to-back days where, oh, you get to enjoy the day. You get to be out in the sun. You might go see some water. You might touch some grass. Be like, it is the summertime. That's what it's giving. It's like, it is the summertime. So I'm seeing a month that is productive and has some moments in it that's just kind of like you really in your bag, you really doing what needs to be done, and then you get it done, and it's like it's something that is gonna be there for a minute. I'm getting 2 to 3 years, like whatever it is that you're doing or you're working on, it's gonna be a brick in a wall that's gonna be standing for some time. Love that for you. Come through, Venus and Virgo. I love that. Yeah, I love that. And I'm not really familiar with this sign. Fortune sign. Let's see. Mm-hmm. And then it says it enhances the aspect of a planet. Then we got the vertex in the 5th house in Libra. Now, the vertex, it says its interpretation is controversial, sometimes considered the second descendant. It has to do with associations and fated encounters, those that are not chosen, and reveals the type of sensitivity and reactivity we have in our dealings with other people. A refined and tolerant way in Libra, straightforward and spontaneous in Libra. So there may be some interactions, and this came up in a reading that I recently posted. There may be some interactions that come up that kind of require a little bit patience. And our spiritual team was saying, like, maintain our posture. And the energy that was coming through is like, afterwards, someone would say, you handled that very well. Like, they feel like others can empathize or sympathize with you and be like, yeah, I could tell you was getting a little irritated. They were like, yeah, I probably would have got mad too. But spiritual team is asking us to, like, still handle the situation with poise, with grace, with patience. And the reason why is because they was like, someone might be telling you, yeah, it's gonna take 2 to 3 weeks, or you might the example was like someone was going to check in for a doctor appointment and they're like, yeah, it's gonna be a 2 hour wait or something like that, something you don't want to hear. And spiritual team was encouraging us to handle the situation with grace, not get bent out of shape, not get out of character. And because someone else is gonna be like, no, yeah, you're good, like 10 minutes later. So it's like not letting yourself get upset, not messing up your makeup for something that was already worked out by the divine. Love that for us. Because what? But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here, you guys. Hope that you guys enjoyed. I'm chilling right now. Bye. Oh, wait. Let me also show you guys. I told you guys in the last reading, the link to my website, you can get to it by visiting the homepage on my YouTube channel. Here I have many different offerings. I have the all you can ask Oracle Den here for clients that are wanting their own personal readings, and you don't have to use the minutes all in one setting. They do roll over. I also have De Royale's intention setting store, which is hosted by Etsy for all of my, I wasn't even trying to click that for real. I was just trying to show y'all where I was pointing. But yeah, De Royale's intention setting store available on Etsy, where you can see all of my beautiful candles. I am gifted. My hands are blessed. One of my most potent manifestation skills is my handwriting. So if you are interested in identity shifting and claiming what's yours, those candles are available. I also have free resources available for anyone that is feeling like they have negative energy and not quite sure how to get it off of them or to relieve themselves. And as I mentioned last video, there are a couple of other free resources that I am intending to add on here, so you guys stay tuned. So I'll have 3 different free resources for you guys, but I also have a visual portal for you guys that are interested in that. So it's like a visual meditation for you guys. Here you'll be able to find how to book with me, the process of booking. You can also learn more about me and what I'm doing outside of making videos on YouTube, and on the ground level, what's important to me, my frame of mind, what I'm thinking, and what all of the readings and the work that I post on here is based off of. If you're ever able or wanting to contribute to my life's work, these are the ways that you can contribute. And if you are interested in learning more about my code of ethics as a spiritual advisor, that is available. I also have client reviews and some fun activities for you guys to get into. You could also follow me on the gram. Love that for me. And of course, check out my About Me. But yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. I hope y'all have a great day. Goodbye.